Mayong udto kanatong tanan. My dear friends, we're always convinced that the love of God is inclusive. That means we are called, everybody, everyone is called to embrace the Lord whose hands are always outstretched for us, regardless of who we are, regardless of our struggles, our sinfulness, our dark pasts. The Lord's love is always inclusive. And that is also the very issue in the two readings in today's liturgy. The first one from the book of Deuteronomy, where Moses reminded the people of Israel that they were once alien people, alien in the land of Egypt, and even Moses proclaimed that God befriends alien people. That means a people of no right, of no identity, and somehow considered to be unwanted. And here, they've been accepted as people of worth and value. And once the people, the chosen race, were once alien in the land of Egypt, and yet God, among all other peoples, have chosen them, loved them. And therefore, Yahweh, in the book of Deuteronomy, broke that very wall that separates the alien people from the sons and daughters of the land. They have now an equal footage when it comes to the concern and love of Yahweh. Here in the Gospel, we're told about the issue of paying the temple tax, where Peter was asked, is the master pay the temple tax or not? But Jesus said, who are the ones that are commanded to pay temple tax? The sons or the foreigners? And we are told that it's the foreigners' duty to pay taxes because they are not in the land. They are not the sons and daughters of the land. And yet, in order to portray that very nature of the love of God in this issue of paying tax, the Lord asked Peter to get the first catch of the sea, the fish with a coin in its mouth. Here we are told about that Jesus once again corroborated with that idea of the love of God, of being inclusive, that it's no longer just for the chosen race, but it's for all, including the alien, the foreigners, those people who have no identity, people who have no dignity or less dignity compared to the sons and daughters of the land. And that is also the same thing with the love of God for all of us. The love of God sees not because we have this external trappings in us, which is more favorable compared to others, but the love of God pierces to the very deepest recesses of our being, that we are loved because of who we are. We are loved because we are a person's worth the value of God's attention. Naghigugma ta sa Ginoo dili tungod kay maayo ta, apan gigugma ta niya tungod kay gihigugma ta niya og siya gugma. Kung muundang siya sa paghigugma, dili na siya Ginoo. If God ceases to love, then therefore He is no longer God. And yet, we rejoice. We cherish this love of God. We celebrate His love every day. And when we celebrate the love of God every day, we want to conform to the demands of the love that the Lord presented to us, because He is the one who loves us first, and He presented to us the ways of loving, that it's no longer just residing on our capacity of loving in our human nature, but we have to emulate the ways of God's love, so that not only that we are liberated by the love of God, we can also inspire others, liberate others by the reflection of the love that we have encountered in our lives to the ways of our love to other people. And this is what Saint Maximilian Kolbe has portrayed to us, one of the modern day saints who continues to follow the demands of love by presenting his very self to that innocent man to be executed. Wa gyud siya nagpanuko nga siya nalay patsyon kaysa kining tao nga inosente. And that is the greatest kind of love being portrayed in the self-offering, in the total abasement of the self because and in the name of love. May we continue to learn the ways of love, God's ways of loving and inclusive in nature, who accepts and embraces everybody, regardless of who the person is. For that is God's way of loving. We love because we encounter God's love in our lives. Amen.